When people hear the word mental health disorder, they constantly think that there's something wrong with this person. They must be experiencing something in their life or a traumatic event, when in reality, that's not what it is for most people. A mental health disorder doesn't necessarily mean that these people can't control their own mind or thoughts. Really, it comes down to depression, misery, loneliness, suicide, and those factors play a huge role in young adults' lives. At early ages, too, people can start feeling isolated, alone, like they're not good enough. So the word mental health is a very scary word for many people. When not in reality, it just takes a little bit more understanding to really truly understand where these people are coming from. Many people, especially young adults, suffer from a mental health disorder in one way or another. Some factors could include, issues at home, a strained relationship with family, friends, being bullied, picked on, feeling like a target can oftentimes force these people to have these feelings about themselves that kind of pushes them into thoughts of suicide. Um, Mental health issues are often overlooked, and it may even feel like something embarrassing or awkward to talk about for some people. However, young adult literature can help their readers discover their personal identity, and they can realize for themselves that this is a common thing that young adults go through. Um, and sometimes I have to say that they have to go through these issues to really grow up and find the connections that they need in their life. And as they come of age, it could lead them to forms of self discovery, and it can show them new ways to communicate with the important people in their life, like their moms, siblings, friends. Um, the opportunities are endless. But young adult literature can be a really big eye opener to these young adults that are struggling with mental health issues, because it can make them feel like they're not alone, and as an outlet to see that they are not the only people that have struggled with these issues. The book Fracture kind of relates to some young adults in the way as feeling like isolated and like they don't belong, because Delani, the main character in the book, experiences a near death in the book, and she wakes up with new abilities to sense death by her. And having gone through that, she struggles to have a relationship with her mother because of the changes and the difficulties that have come from the new challenges of her near death experience. Um, and that kind of goes into mental health issues. So she starts really struggling because the relationship that she once had with her mother is no longer there. And she doesn't know how to communicate with her mother, but she knows that her mother is struggling with the new experience that has come with her daughter's near death in the book. She doesn't know how to communicate with her mom about her struggles, and vice versa. Her mom doesn't know how to communicate that with her. However, in the book, it is obvious that these struggles are coming from the accident, because Delani oftentimes finds her mom crying, looking at pictures of who Delani once was before her accident. Um, and this is a great way to connect with readers who oftentimes feel like they're misunderstood and overlooked by their family. Um, this is a great read for young adults. Cracked is also a great book that overlooks the mental health issues, because both of the boys in the book also have issues um, with mental health, because they Victor attempts suicide because he really just hates the relationship that he has with his parents. His parents are so nitpicky and he's constantly overlooked. Anything that he does um good, even if it's good, like good grades, great SAT scores, he's often put down by his mother and father because he just is not good enough for them. Nothing he does will ever be perfect for his mom and dad. And all he wants to do is have a relationship with them. He wants them to say how much they love him. He wants them to tell him how much they love him, that he's accepted, that, he's okay and he's safe where he's at. And that's not how he feels. He has a better relationship with his dog than he does with his parents. And that's what pushes him over the edge to finally commit suicide when his dog dies, because his dog is the only person that understands him. And this really connects to the mental health issues that young adults face today, because um, many young adults are feeling that way now. They are feeling overlooked. They are feeling like if they're not perfect, they don't belong to their family. They're not they're not whole because they're just not good enough. I come from a really big family, so I cannot say that I connect to this in one way or another. But in some extent, I do understand where some of these writers are coming from with not feeling like they belong. I come from a big family, so I always feel like if I didn't have my mom to talk to, I had my brothers and sisters to talk to. So somebody was always there for me to kind of help, clear my head and clear my shoulder, the weight off my shoulders. Um, However, I do connect to these readers in the extent that I never felt like I was good enough because I knew that I could do better than I was doing at that time. I always knew that there was something else that I could be doing that I could get better at or learn, and that would make my mom and my dad proud. I never kept trying. And I guess that at some point I did reach a breaking point of like mental exhaustion and just feeling like, is this really for me, what I want to do, or am I doing this for validation from my parents? Um, and at that moment, I realized that it wasn't for myself. I was pushing myself to a breaking point because I wanted to validate or feel validated by my parents. And when I found a place to where I was satisfied with myself, I no longer felt like I needed their validation.